And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Master Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginblack.com. My name is Keedy Owado, aka the Conscious Rasta. Weekday mornings, you and I get in live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity. Today's date is Wednesday. It is the year 2025 in the Western calendar, the Gregorian calendar. This corresponds to the year 6265 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we've realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. All right. Boy, that was weird. Just 1 minute before going on the air, less than a minute, we had a power blackout for just a moment, and it knocked out all of my computers except for the laptop. And so I had to restart everything. I think I've got everything up and running now. It's a pleasure to be with you today here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Let me tell you what we have in store for today's conversation. I'm continuing this intensive series on health. We're looking at very specific, narrow ranges of illnesses that are plaguing the population today. Today on LIB Radio, we look at bacterial infections, some quite common, and what we can do to combat them without using pharmaceutical drugs. Many antibiotic drugs have very serious very serious cross reactions, so-called side effects, that have been shown to be injurious to our microbiome, and some have even increased the risk of a cancer diagnosis. However, most of us are unaware of the medicinal properties of food as, quote, nature's most perfect medicine, unquote. How many of these powerful nutraceuticals do you currently use to prevent infections and to prevent inflammation or lower the impact of inflammation? So that is the topic of our theme. The title for today's show: Natural Antibiotics, Strep Throat, and Functional Medicine. Now, you've been hearing me talk a lot about functional medicine of recent. Functional medicine is a relatively new practice of medicine. It differs from conventional medicine in certain ways, very important ways, but functional medicine personalizes, customizes the procedures toward your best self-interest. Your best self-interests are to prevent the disease in the first place if you possibly can. Your best self-interest may not coincide with the next person who might have the same diagnosis, but that may become because of Western medicine is kind of lazy and just wants to slather one diagnosis over as many as 29 distinct different conditions. 29 distinct conditions. They'll blame it all on the virus. Nah, it don't work like that. This is why I have centered in on functional medicine to tie everything that I do together, and I'm having a good time at it. Let me tell you. Now, I got a call from my roommate who is in another state right now, And when I was talking to her, her voice sounded so different, I didn't even think it was her. And so I talked to her and I asked her, what's going on? And she said, I got strep throat. I say, hey, let's do more than just suggest garlic for strep throat as a natural antibiotic. So I pulled it up, did some searching, cross-referenced things, used peer review as well, and here is the list of natural antibiotics that I came up with for today's show. Here are 21 of the top natural non-pharmaceutical antibiotics, each with a brief explanation of its antimicrobial properties and traditional uses. Number 1 on the list is garlic. Garlic contains psilocin, a potent compound with antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal effects. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually got this other search engine up over here, and I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to put this one up into it. Garlic as a natural antibiotic in 150 words. Okay, so that's what I'm inquiring of the AI, and it's going to give me a little bit more. Garlic is a potent natural antibiotic with a long history of use against bacterial, fungal, and viral infections. Its primary active compound, allicin, is released when garlic is crushed or chewed and exhibits strong antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-parasitic effects. Allicin works by reacting with sulfonyl groups in bacterial enzymes, disrupting their function and compromising the integrity of the bacterial membrane, leading to cell death. Studies have shown garlic extract is effective against multi-drug resistant strains, including methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, MRSA, and vancomycin-resistant enterococci, I think it is, enterococci. That's VRE. Fresh garlic extract has demonstrated inhibition against pathogens like C. albicans, MRSA, and various enteric bacteria. The antimicrobial pathogens like C. albicans, MRSA, and various enteric bacteria. The antimicrobial activity of garlic is attributed to organosulfur compounds like allicin, ajoines, and allyl sulfides, which also exhibit anti-biofilm, anti-quorum sensing properties. While in vitro studies are promising, the effectiveness of garlic in the human body in vivo requires further research, as allicin is unstable and can be destroyed by cooking. Garlic may also positively influence the gut microbiome and boost the immune system. Despite its potential, garlic should not replace prescribed antibiotics for serious infections. And I'm going to leave that last sentence in there. But our program for today is to essentially use functional medicine, living foods, natural antibiotics to get rid of the pharmaceutical antibiotics, some of which raise your risk of cancer, and nearly all of which that I know of will wreck your gut microbiome, causing the condition known as dysbiosis. So that's number one, garlic. And that was a wonderful, wonderful presentation of facts on garlic. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy that, paste it, and go on to the next one. on the list is honey, especially raw or Manuka honey. It has hydrogen peroxide and methylglyoxal. Let me get this right. Methylglyoxal. That's it. Methylglyoxal, which kill bacteria and promote healing. So Manuka honey has hydrogen peroxide and methylglyoxal, which are known to kill bacteria and promote healing, and of course do nothing to harm your essential system. Now, let me just put this in real quickly, and I'm going to put this in the same search engine, and you tell me, does this sound like something you would rather deal with? Now, this time I'm not going to ask for 150 words. I'm going to say 75 words. Using artificial intelligence, it's searching. So we're looking at honey as an antibiotic. Raw and Manuka honey possess significant natural antibiotic properties, primarily due to high levels of methylglyoxal, MgO, hydrogen peroxide, and other bioactive compounds. Manuka honey, derived from the Leptospirum tree in New Zealand and Australia, is particularly potent with its unique Manuka factor, UMF rating indicating MgO concentration. It has demonstrated effectiveness against a wide range of bacteria, including antibiotic-resistant strains like MRSA, and is used clinically for wound and burn healing. Its antibacterial action is synergistic, involving multiple components, and no bacterial resistance to honey has been reported. No bacterial resistance to honey. There is no such thing as anti-honey bacteria or anti-honey resistance. None. That's pretty good. For best results, use medical grade or high UMF rated Manuka honey, topically on wounds or ingested for internal issues, though professional medical advice is essential. So that's pretty impressive. I hope you do fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, cut, and paste this, and I'm not going to be editing much on this in what I have here real quickly, but I will have this, and then later I will edit it for the purposes of sharing this with other people. So ginger is number 3 on our list. Ginger is, of course, one of our absolute favorites. Ginger is not only antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, but ginger also has very strong anti-cancer responses and reflections in the body. Ginger is awesome. Why? Its broad spectrum antibacterial properties and helps reduce inflammation. Ginger is awesome. I'm going to kind of pick up the pace here. A couple of these I am going to pull out, such as the next one. I'm going to pull this one out and do a little deeper. And this one is turmeric. 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 Most people call it turmeric. I know it as turmeric. Turmeric. Derived from curcuma longa. Contains curcumin, a natural compound with demonstrated antibacterial properties against various pathogens, including multi-drug resistant strains like MRSA and E. coli. Turmeric exhibits greater efficacy against gram-positive bacteria compared to gram-negative species. I don't know what that means. Curcumin's mechanism involves disrupting bacterial membranes, inhibiting biofilm formation, and inducing oxidative stress. It also shows synergistic effects when combined with conventional antibiotics, enhancing their effectiveness. Its anti-inflammatory and immunomodulatory effects further support its potential as a therapeutic agent. Despite challenges like poor solubility and bioavailability, turmeric remains a promising natural alternative to antibiotics, particularly in combating antimicrobial resistance. So turmeric is definitely very high up on our list, and I hope you do agree. I hope you find turmeric and all of these we're talking about today to be very, very useful. I'm going to real quickly post that one up and then go to the next one on our list, oregano oil. Rich in carvacrol, and thymol, powerful compounds that fight bacteria and fungi. Next on the list, cinnamon. Cinnamon has cinnamaldehyde. That sounds like formaldehyde, but with cinnamon on the front of it. Cinnamon has cinnamaldehyde, which inhibits bacterial growth and biofilm formation. Now that's a real good one. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to kind of clean up some of these things here. This might take a second. It's going to take too long to clean all of these up and take the numbers out of this list. Maybe I can do it. Bear with me. And okay, I got it done, but I'm not necessarily happy about how long that took. So that was for the garlic. We did do honey, Manuka honey, and we concentrated on the third one was ginger, and then the next one up is oregano oil. Oregano oil is the bomb diggity. Let me just real quickly, I'm gonna do this in real time. Let's see if I can read and edit at the same time. So we're putting up oregano oil as a natural antibiotic. I want it explained in 75 words. And let me just double check, make sure my listening audience is with me today. Let me see, who have I got in the show today? And people always sending me messages about what they post on Facebook. I would prefer quit doing that because it interferes with my access to the show that I'm doing today. If you sending me messages in Facebook about things that you're concerned about, please do not do that. I'll have to send a note to one person who's been doing it for a long time, and it's really disruptive during the show. And just double checking to make sure my listening audience is in the house today. Do I have you in the house? Skip the ads, please do. Skip the ads. Skip another ad. Bear with me. It's well worth waiting for. And then comments, not there, but here. And I'm not seeing any comments have come in for today's show. And I can't see it. So I don't know what's happening here today. But if anybody has anything you want to say, because I do see a number of people are in the program for today. And let me try this. Hit this one here. It's the live button. Okay, now we do see Ed L. Mack. I do see you in the house, Ed L. Mack. He says, greetings, Brother Keaty. Once I heard Dr. Delbert Blair say that all viruses were man-made. What is your opinion on viruses? Bless his heart, Dr. Delbert Blair. I do remember and got a chance to spend a lot of time with his Dr. Delbert Blair. He was the kindest, most loving person on the planet. I have nothing but wonderful things to say, except for Dr. Delbert Blair made stuff up. Now, on one hand, I will agree with Dr. Delbert Blair when he says that, quote unquote, all viruses are man-made. But I prefer to agree with Dr. Laila Afrika, who said that all viruses are made up. I contend, this is my personal opinion, that viruses are confused with exosomes. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this in the type right here. Viruses are confused with exosomes. Now, when you understand what an exosome is, and when you understand what a virus is, you will understand why I say viruses are confused with exosomes. Let me real quickly define exosomes and their function. I'm using AI. Define exosomes and their function. Now, I want you to listen real carefully. This is not the program for today, but I want you to, from what you know about what they say a virus is, and I'll give you the accepted clinical definition of a virus: simple strands of chromosomes covered by a double lipid protein sheath, encapsulated in this double lipid protein sheath. Simple strands of chromosomes. Now, listen to the definition of exosome. Exosomes are small, membrane-bound, extracellular vesicles, typically ranging from 30 to 150 nanometers in diameter. They are secreted by a wide variety of cells, including those in the immune system and cancer cells. They play a crucial role in intercellular communication by transporting a diverse cargo of biomolecules, including proteins, lipids, nucleic acids such as mRNA and miRNA, and metabolites between cells, both locally and over long distances. Now, that's almost exactly a description of the function of viruses. But wait, there's more. Exosomes are formed through a process originating in endosomal system. Late endosomes invaginate inward to form multivesicular bodies, MVBs, which contain intra-luminal vesicles. It's getting a little complicated. Their primary function is to mediate cell-to-cell communication, influencing various physiological and pathological processes such as immune response, modulation, cell signaling, or regeneration and differentiation, and the regulation of cellular functions in health and disease. Exosomes are involved in numerous biological processes, including the transfer of oncogenic material like mutated EGFR that can promote cancer progression, metastasis, and the creation of an immunosuppressive tumor microenvironment due to their natural ability to cross biological barriers like blood-brain barrier and their low immunogenicity. Exosomes are being actively researched as promising tools for drug and gene delivery, particularly for treating diseases like cancer and neurological disorders. They are also highly, and that's what they're saying about viruses. They're using viruses to transfer genes. They're using viruses in the mRNA vaccines had viruses in it. What was the virus called? mRNA vaccine. I'm trying to remember which. There was one specific enterovirus. Entero. Enterovirus was inserted into the mRNAs. Due to their natural ability to cross biological barriers, they are being used or actively researched as promising tools for drug and gene delivery, particularly for treating diseases like cancer and neurological diseases. They are also highly valuable as non-invasive diagnostic and prognostic biomarkers, as their molecular content reflects the physiological or pathological state of their cell of origin and can be detected in easily accessible biological fluids like blood, urine, and saliva. Now, what they say, and I'm really reluctant to go down this road. I hope, Ed Elmack, I hope that I inspired you to go and look, ask the question, why does Keedy say viruses are confused with exosomes? And let me just real quickly, I'm not going to go more than 10 seconds down this pathway. I'm just going to ask this question, are viruses confused with exosomes? I'm going to put a question mark in that. And I don't know what it's going to say. I do know that one doctor one time did say, and this was a black doctor, Meharry. He was at Meharry Medical College. He was the head of Meharry Medical College at the time. And he said the AIDS virus, so to say, is confused with exosomes. He says he can't tell them apart. Dr. Laila Africa said a virus is nothing but a piece of a dead, broken up cell. Cannot think, jump, or do anything on its own. Virus is nothing but a piece of a dead, broken up cell. Here's what I just found when I asked the question. Are viruses confused with exosomes? Here's what it said. Exosomes and viruses share significant similarities in size, structure, and function, which has led to scientific interest in their relationship and occasional confusion between the two. Both are small, membrane-bound particles that can transfer proteins, RNA, and other biomolecules between cells. And they are often used similar cellular pathways for biogenesis and uptake. For example, exosomes and enveloped viruses like HIV have comparable lipid compositions, including high levels of cholesterol and glycosphingolipids, and share proteins such as tetraspanins. Electron microscopy images can make them appear nearly identical. That's how I found out about it, leading to speculation, even during the COVID pandemic, that viruses like SARS-CoV-2 might be misidentified exosomes. It goes on. I'm going to obviously copy this whole thing. There's about 4 more paragraphs. But I want you, brother, I want you to follow up on this. Please do. Ed, please do. I'm going to paste as much of this as will be in there. And I'm just going to put a ... as after you can't get that. But this was from an AI search. From an AI search. So, there you have it. That was a great question. Good timing. I want to go back to today's theme, which is natural antibiotics. We talked about oregano oil, rich in carvacrol and thymol, powerful compounds that fight bacteria and fungi. Cinnamon has cinnamaldehyde, which inhibits bacterial growth and biofilm formation. Now, based upon what we just read about the similarities between viruses and exosomes, we can see now while these substances might inhibit some of these processes. But let's be clear, antibiotics are intended not to be given to a person with bacterial infections or a viral infections, only bacterial infections. Any doctor that prescribes antibiotics for viruses, malpractice. It's malpractice. And you would not believe how common this malpractice is. It's very common. We're up to number 18, clove. Contains eugenol, a strong antimicrobial agent used in dental care. Echinacea boosts immune function and has mild antibacterial effects. Especially echinacea is good for respiratory infections. Golden seal contains berberine, which is effective against bacteria and parasites. Golden seal. Neem, number 21. Neem is used in Ayurveda, and it's not number 21 because I got all those extra numbers in there. Neem is used in Ayurvedic medicine. It has antibacterial and antifungal properties. Next on the list, apple cider vinegar. Its acetic acid content helps kill pathogens and balance the skin and gut pH. Apple cider vinegar. Next on the list of natural antibiotics, coconut oil. Contains lauric acid and monolaurin, which disrupt bacterial cell walls. The next one on the list, colloidal silver. Historically used to kill bacteria, though modern use is controversial and should be cautious. And colloidal silver, I'm not necessarily going to endorse it. I'm not a fan of colloidal silver. I had some around here somewhere. Someone had given it to me. And earlier someone had asked a question about Dr. Delbert Blair. You do recall Dr. Delbert Blair. You may have listened to him enough to know that he talked a lot about colloidal silver. And from my understanding, he did use colloidal silver personally. But Dr. Delbert Blair did not live to be very old age. He died relatively young for a black man in America. I think maybe about 70 or so. Let me see if I can find Dr. Delbert Blair on Wiki. Dr. Delbert Blair. Now, I'm going to be very cautious about talking about Dr. Delbert Blair because on one hand, I had the highest love and respect for Dr. Delbert Blair. But he was faking the funk. And, we can have a lot of respect for these people. But how do we deal with the fact when we find out they lie about a lot of things? Dick Gregory told some whoppers. But still, we hold Dick Gregory's memory with reverence because he was Dick Gregory. We had to love Dick Gregory. So Delbert Blair told a lot of whoppers. I did find a brief bio on Delbert Blair from Wikipedia. Delbert Blair, an engineer, research scientist, metaphysics teacher, and historian, was the director of the Meta Center in Chicago from 1973 until his passing in 2016. He was born February 13, 1934 in Chicago, Illinois. And that would have put him at 70, no, 66 plus 16 is 72. That's not right. 66 plus 16 would be 82. 2016 minus, yeah, he lived to be 82. That's not bad. Real quickly, let me just use my calculator. One sec. I want to make sure I get that right. Normally I do this in my head, but my brain is not doing real well. 2016 minus 1932 equals 84. So Dr. Delbert Blair, I take that back. He did live to be a ripe age for black men. And 84 is not disrespectful, not unrespectable at all. 84 is not a bad age. He was born in Chicago, Illinois, earned a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Roosevelt University. His career began as a regional salesperson for the Wrigley Gum Company before he shifted his focus to historical and metaphysical research after a pivotal meeting at a conference sponsored by astrophysicist Carl Sagan. He lectured extensively across the United States and internationally, speaking at numerous universities and conferences, including the Meeting of the Masters in Atlanta, Georgia. He hosted a radio show called Metaphysics Speaks and was known for his work on topics such as the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the dangers of cell phone radiation, and the concept of multiple suns. And that was a ridiculous concept of multiple suns. And also they talk about his dangers of cell phone radiation. That was one of the places where I significantly departed from his teachings. Dr. Delbert Blair talked about how these cell phones emitted such terrible radiation, which in those days they did emit terrible amount of cellular, not the word, microwave radiation. But Dr. Delbert Blair sold this little wafer. It was about a little less than the size of a credit card. And I bought one from him. I paid him $26 for this wafer back in the early 90s. $26 was a good sum of money then. And one day I was sitting and thinking, now, how could this wafer disrupt the cellular microwave radiation? Because if I carry the two together in the same place, it doesn't affect the phone. The phone works just exactly as it did. So how can this be selective in disrupting this and invading my tissue? So I ended up cutting the thing apart, and all it was some plastic and aluminum shavings, aluminum foil shavings. That was it. And I knew that for it to work, it would have to have some active electrical element in it, which means it had to have a battery in it, had to have some power source. So that was when I started questioning Dr. Delbert Blair. We had him on here a number of times. Brother Jamal and I used to interview him together every year. I love Dr. Blair. But he wasn't trustworthy though. But he was good at communicating. He did that very well. And Jamal and I used to interview him, and one day he said, and we're getting reports from Southern California that the moon has stopped going through its phases. I waited a minute or two to see if Brother Jamal wanted this one, and he didn't respond. I said, wait. Hold up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I hear you say that the moon has quit going through its phases? And he kind of backed off when I questioned that. Backed off a little bit. Yeah, well, we're getting these reports from Southern California about this. And I say, well, I can assure you, I drive from the city to the desert. I was living in Palmdale at the time, every night, most nights of the week. And what I do, it's such a long drive, I will watch the stars, watch the heavens, watch the moon as part of my staying awake. And I can assure you, Doctor, is that the moon is going through its phases, unbroken, no stop. And then he also said this thing about two suns. We're getting reports, and you should post this picture of two suns with a lens flare in it. So, other than that, praise be his eternal name. Dr. Delbert Blair's name will live on. And therefore, we want people to remember the good things that Delbert Blair's name was associated with. And the rest of the stuff, let it be buried by his good works. So, on that note, Shabaka 14 is joined. Greetings, Baba and LV family. I'm always happy to be here with you. I do a glass of water with Bragg's every day. Good, good, good. Add to it, brother Shabaka. You add to it, but the chia seed pudding. Chia seed pudding and Bragg's once a day. They can be taken at separate times. But if you add that chia seed pudding in it, it is the most effective weight loss I have ever come across. I swear this to be true. I weighed myself this morning. I thought I would weigh 140.6 because I weighed 140.7 the day before. No, I weighed 141.7 the day before, and I woke up today and I weighed 140.3 or something. I had taken off over a pound in the last day. Now, this is not necessarily intentional, but I do a lot of things that keep my weight low, and I will stabilize my weight. I'm not going to go below 140 because then I start looking like an apple on a stick. Or my head gets bigger and my body skinny like that. But it really feels good. It really does feel good. And I'm not tired. And so, Shabaka, add chia pudding. I gave you the recipe for chia pudding. Just mix 1/3 of a cup of chia with about 1.5 cups of almond milk. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. You can add some honey to it. If you can get some Manuka honey and add to it, that's even better. And you can add fresh fruit to it. Yesterday I put strawberries and plum in my chia pudding, and it was wonderful. It was delicious, and my weight's going down. Normally, right now, about this time between fasts, I would be weighing I'd be fighting to keep it at 147. Well, today I'm 7 pounds lighter than what I was at another time. And again, I'm going to lock it in right around this time. We are today talking about natural antibiotics. And the reason I feel this way is because I use natural antibiotics. We gotten up to golden seal, which contained barabine. We got neem cider vinegar. We got that in. Coconut oil, colloidal silver, Paul d'Arco, P-A-U, not Paul, Paul d'Arco, a South American bark with antifungal and antibacterial properties. And you can get Paul d'Arco as a tea. It's a lovely, lovely tea. Olive leaf extract. Now that's a good one. I know my brother Heru is the olive leaf extract expert. Olive leaf oil he distributes. So, excuse me. Olive leaf extract contains oleopiline, oleropain, which has antimicrobial and immune boosting effects. Olive leaf extract. Definitely do get it. It's a wonderful product. The next one on the list, cranberry. Cranberry prevents bacterial adhesion in the urinary tract, especially E. coli. Horseradish contains compounds that stimulate circulation and fight respiratory infections. Onion, like garlic, contains sulfur compounds with antibacterial effects. Lemon. Lemon is high in vitamin C and citric acid and helps fight bacteria and support immunity. And aloe vera, known for its antibacterial properties, it helps in healing skin infections and improving overall skin health. Lastly on this list, thyme essential oil. Thyme essential oil is derived from the leaves of the Thymus vulgaris plant through steam distillation, resulting in a potent, spicy, and warm oil known for its high thymol content, which can range from 20% to 54%. This compound is primarily responsible for its strong antiseptic, antimicrobial, and antioxidant properties. The oil is available in two main forms: red thyme, produced from the first distillation and characterized by a darker color and more intense aroma, and white thyme, which results from a second distillation and it's lighter in color and more refined in scent, making it more suitable for topical and aromatherapy use. Historically, thyme has been used for centuries across cultures for embalming, as incense, or to ward off nightmares, with ancient Greeks using it in baths and pillows for courage and restful sleep. Thyme essential oil offers a range of potential health benefits. It is used to support immune function, reduce inflammation, and alleviate respiratory issues such as coughing and minor congestion due to its expectorant qualities. Studies suggest it has anti-inflammatory effects demonstrated in animal models where it reduced inflammatory markers and edema. It also shows promise as a natural insect repellent and antimicrobial agent, effective against bacteria and fungi, which is why thymol is a key ingredient in products like Listerine mouthwash and some hand sanitizers. For topical use, it can be incorporated into skincare and hair care products to help manage acne, soothe dandruff, and act as a natural lice deterrent when properly diluted. It can also be used in natural cleaning solutions and as a fragrance in perfumery. Despite its benefits, thyme essential oil must be used with caution. I'll repeat that sentence. Despite its benefits, thyme essential oil must be used with caution. Due to its high thymol concentration, it can irritate mucous membranes and skin, so it should always be diluted with a carrier oil before application. It is not recommended for internal use without professional guidance, and individuals with allergies to the mint family, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and children should avoid it. Thyme essential oil. And so after reading that, I said, wow, that sounds pretty powerful. So I then went to Amazon and looked to see Handcraft Blends Thyme Essential Oil. This is 4 fluid ounces, 100% pure and natural, premium grade essential oil for diffuser and aromatherapy, skin, massage, candle, and soap making fragrance. So that is thyme essential oil diffuser technology. So I have that link here. Let me just put up that link in case anybody wants to get it. This is not for internal consumption. This is for diffuser and aromatherapy. So you have been instructed on how to use it, where to use it, and let me just quickly figure out, what am I looking for? Oh, bear with me. I know what I'm looking for. I just can't remember what it was I was looking for. Oh, I'm putting up this link here for others to have access to. Do I have? Oh, I have, Brother Shabaka. I answered that. Now that link is going to take you to Amazon.com. I am not getting any part of that. It's between you and Amazon. I do see in our YouTube family, Stray Godzilla is in the house. Greeting to you, Stray Godzilla. He says, "Hey, Kitty, I remember Dick Gregory on front page. You were there too." Yeah. Oh man, I used to be a big fan of Dick Gregory. He was our Baba, and we love Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory told some big whoppers, though. In the end, I kind of think he was getting worse into it. Either that, or he was just messing with us. Pomegranate juice. I don't see pomegranate juice on this list of natural antibiotics, but I do know one thing: pomegranate juice is one of the most powerful and anti-inflammatory antioxidants that we could use. So pomegranate juice, absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that suggestion. And I'm going to post this link up that I had shared a little bit earlier from the Amazon on my Facebook page. And hopefully the people will follow the instructions. It is not for internal use, not in this form. Thyme is wonderful, but we do not use it internally, not this form. We use it, bear with me, we use it in a diffuser. It is aromatherapy. Okay, so you got the instructions now. I do have a little bit more to go with today's program, and there we have it. And it's inexpensive too, from Amazon. These natural remedies can support the body's defenses, especially when used alongside a healthy lifestyle. However, they're not substitutes for medical treatment in serious infections. Now, let's talk a little bit about strep throat, which two people that I'm in contact with right now are dealing with that. Strep throat, caused by group A Streptococcus gas, is a common bacterial infection leading to sore throat, fever, and other symptoms, with over 600 million cases annually worldwide. While conventional treatment relies on antibiotics to prevent While conventional medicine, that's what it is. While conventional medicine relies on antibiotics to prevent complications like rheumatic fever and post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, that's your, it's messing with your kidneys at that point. Glomerular, that's your kidney filter, and nephritis is an inflammation of the kidney. Functional medicine offers integrative approaches to support recovery and address underlying factors contributing to recurrent infections. Functional medicine emphasizes identifying and managing root causes, such as immune dysfunction, nutritional deficiencies, and microbiome imbalances, which may predispose individuals to repeated strep infections. Diagnosis in functional medicine often involves more than standard rapid tests. A throat swab or blood test may be used, and in cases where prior undiagnosed strep infection is suspected, a strep antibody test like ASO titer can confirm past exposure. For recurrent strep throat, defined as multiple infections per year, functional practitioners may consider non-antibiotic strategies alongside conventional care, especially when tonsillectomy is being considered. So with the functional medicine, you're going to avoid tonsillectomy. It's being considered, they say. Then you're going to put in your natural antibiotics. Integrative management focuses on symptom relief and immune support. Dietary modifications such as consuming soft, nutrient-rich foods like oatmeal, yogurt, and warm teas help maintain nutrition while easing swallowing pain. Herbal and supplement interventions are commonly recommended. Sage throat spray, particularly at 15% concentration, has shown efficacy in reducing sore throat symptoms. Vitamin D supplementation is supported by evidence linking deficiency to increased susceptibility to streptococcal infections, as vitamin D plays a key role in immune regulation. Probiotics may help maintain a healthy microbiome which supports immune function, although they do not directly target the strep bacteria. That's an important point. Natural antimicrobial agents are also explored. Research has identified several herbal infusions with potent activity against Streptococcus pyogenes. Licorice root, barberry root, thyme, and oregano flowering shoots demonstrated strong inhibitory effects on bacterial growth and biofilm formation, with licorice root showing the lowest minimum inhibitory concentration of 1.56. Further, carvacrol, an essential oil found in herbs like summer savory, has been shown to rapidly kill GAS by disrupting its cell membrane, offering a potential natural alternative with low cytotoxicity. These findings support the use of functional medicine approaches that incorporate evidence-based botanicals and nutritional support to complement conventional treatment and enhance overall recovery. So, I have another list of the top 20 natural antibiotics. The provided context, I did an inquiry and it didn't want to answer the question. I answered it twice, but I got this out of it. The provided context does not contain a list of the top 20 natural antibiotics. It discusses several natural substances with antibiotic properties, such as honey, we discussed that, garlic, myrrh, thyme essential oil, oregano essential oil, ginger, echinacea, and cloves, but only provides detailed information on a small number of these, not a comprehensive list of 20. Therefore, a complete list of the top 20 natural antibiotics with explanations cannot be generated from the available information. And I was kind of rushing through this, so I had to keep going. The content highlights that certain plant extracts, essential oils, and foods possess antibiotic properties, with some research supporting their effectiveness against various bacteria and fungi. For example, honey has been used historically for its wound healing and antimicrobial properties, attributed to components like hydrogen peroxide and methyl glyoxal. Garlic contains organosulfur compounds like allicin, which have demonstrated antibacterial effects, including against multi-drug resistant strains. And again, if you're using garlic as an antibiotic, it is recommended that your garlic be consumed raw. Raw garlic. That's the best type. Let me just put in that. Raw garlic. Okay? Thyme essential oil has shown effectiveness against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and oregano oil's active compound carvacrol exhibits antimicrobial activity. Other substances mentioned include ginger, which has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, echinacea, which may help prevent respiratory tract infections, and clove essential oil, which shows strong inhibitory effects against certain bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus. So that takes us to the end of today's lecture. We took a number of different deviations, and hopefully we didn't leave anybody behind. Let me double check and make sure if any questions are on the table. And let me go make sure there are any questions on the table. I do see in our Rumble chat, Ed is in the house. He says, thank you, Brother Keaty, for the detailed explanation. And thank you, Ed, for being here. It is my absolute pleasure to be with you. And you reminded me of Dr. Delbert Blair, and I haven't been reminded of Dr. Blair in some time. We do miss our dear brother. We do miss him. And if I had the chance to do it all over again, would I have ever not had any of those interviews with Delbert Blair? No, I would have interviewed Delbert Blair. He did call us from time to time and say, I want to come on the air. And we always said yes, yes, yes. And he did know that I had some skepticism about things he said. By the time I had done maybe 5 or maybe as many as 6 or 7 interviews with him, he would say, "No, I know, Keaty, you're going to have a something with this one," and he would just kind of warn me he was about to say one of his whoppers, and that would make me smile. And today, the memory of Dr. Delbert Blair makes me smile, but I do not take what he says without confirming it. So when Dr. Delbert Blair says our solar system has 2 suns in it, and the second sun is always on the other side of our sun from the earth, and so you can only see it at certain times when it pops out. That was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But sometimes, though, people will say things to test you, to see how naive you are, and I took it from Dr. Blair as well as Dick Gregory. They were testing us. So on that note, I think I've done it all. I think I've done my part for today. There's a lot of good research on the table about a lot of this. We did take a look at exosomes and viruses. I hope I stirred your interest in that. I hope you are very curious about that. What is the difference between an exosome and a virus? An exosome is not man-made. An exosome is made by your body. Viruses, are viruses or can viruses be man-made? I'm going to kind of leave that question unanswered, because I say, well, it's made up by man. That would definitely say they're man-made. If it's made up by lying people, lying to protect their industry. I personally think the whole subject of virology needs to be reconsidered. Scientists need to go back and sit in a room together. Oh, they did that in South Africa. Yeah, you never heard about it, but they did do it. Asking the question, is the HIV virus real? Or is this a, what would they call it? Chimera. Is it real, or is it a man-made mythological beast? Chimera. They did do that. But you never heard about that conference. Dr. Peter Duesberg was there. Some of my friends were there at the time. Maybe I'll have to go back and see if I can find that conference and air that here on LIB Radio. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Do you know that we are engaging in an emergency fund drive, an emergency fund drive. I'm doing everything I can. There are at least 5 projects that I am working on simultaneously outside of LIB Radio, and that these 5 projects all are linked to the African continent. I have to get back to Africa as soon as possible. Now, someone called me yesterday. It's a good brother. He called me yesterday talking about the progress that they are working on, and I talked about what we have in common. And I mentioned you, Dawoodi. I know you're in the house. And he mentioned, I think he mentioned the Hemp Growers Association. And it's not hemp growers. The name is Hemptological or something like that. Growers Association, HGA of Ghana. And I do plan to work with the brothers. So in certain ways, I am a bridge between at least 5 or 6 different African-based endeavors. Now, that doesn't include the endeavors that are American initiated. That doesn't include ones that are initiated across the diaspora. I want to be what I am. And that's an important linchpin helping everything to move toward Pan-African sovereignty and self-sufficiency. The problem is, I'm trying to do it, finance it by selling books, and that does not work anymore. It doesn't work. I love the books. I love these books, where they are. There's whole stacks of them. 60 of them. I love the books. I still learn from the books. I used to, when I would do a consultation, I would pull 2-3 books off of my shelf over here. Gary Null's Complete Encyclopedia of Natural Healing. I would pull out another one, A Complete Guide to Natural Healing. And I would pull up another one, Prescriptions for Natural Healing. I would go through those books and I would read sections of those books to my clients. I no longer have to do that, because I can just go over and pull my own books. The books are loaded with information that will keep you out of your doctor's office. I don't go to the doctor. And I think you should be like me when it comes to keeping it in your pocket, keeping your money in your pocket, keep everything else in-house. But I gotta have support. I'm not gonna beg, but we do. You will have to step up. I'm talking about you as an individual, will have to step up and do something. Now, I would be very reminiscent to say that you're not doing something very powerful, very positive, and that something that you are doing probably needs my support. Had a conversation with my brother Yao yesterday. Yao is a honorary ambassador for tourism for Ethiopia. And Yao is one of the most powerful intellects I know. He's an engineer with a major space corporation, or aerospace corporation. Has been an engineer. I think he's retired now. But Yao is awesome. But Yao retired from that, and rather than just stay at home and collect his multiple checks from his pension and Social Security and all that, and pile up money and live good, Yao is banging it out. And he's excited about telling me that they just put a toilet in their center in Addis Ababa. And he showed me pictures of it, them building the toilet and everything. And that is a beautiful thing. I'm with you, Brother Yao. And I told him, I said, man, what you are doing, you are so appreciated. And I told him, I said, Yao, you stand as a beautiful, brilliant, shining example of what all of us should be doing. And I went on for a minute or two, and he kind of interrupted me, and he said, man, I needed to hear that. I loved hearing it, especially coming from you. And I do appreciate you, Brother Yao. So, Brother Yao, and that's another one of the projects that I am working on with Brother Yao's new book is going to be published in Ghana. And I will have a chapter in his new book. I just want to say thank you to all of you who have contributed, and you have been contributing very generously. This is Black August. We're halfway through the month today. Black August, our emergency LIB Radio Fund Drive. If you want to contribute right now, right under your chat, if you are on rumble.com, right under the chat board, and here, let me just do this so people can at least see it here. Right under the chat on Rumble, you will see a dollar sign, and right next to there, you will see a little, looks like a gift box. Both of those will allow you to make a quick donation right away. You can, and we encourage you to make any donation you choose, any amount, to Cash App, dollar sign, KEIDIOBI, KEIDIOBI, dollar sign. And you can always do a Zelle. Use my text number, 702-580-0662. You can go to the front page of LIB Radio, go scroll down to the bottom of the front page, and you will see a link to subscribe. Make a subscription payment once a month. You could, any amount you want, or a one-time contribution of any amount. I am pleading. I'm not begging, I'm pleading. I ain't too proud to plead. I think I am too proud to beg. But not for love. Not too proud to beg for love. I am too proud to beg for money. But I will plead with you for money. What's the difference? I don't know. I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head. But we're doing the best we can to convince you to join us. Join us. I'm going to be putting, I got a call from Ghana yesterday. And the brother says they are working on creating charter flights. They want to charter one flight per month. This is related to the cultural development ministry. And they want to charter one flight once a month from the U.S. to Ghana. This is an extension of the 2019 Ghana return policy. And by chartering this one flight per month to Ghana, they hope for us to begin to engage with Ghanaians. He wants Americans to come to, wants Africans to come to Ghana, open up bank accounts, open up small businesses, and engage. And if we should choose to apply for Ghanaian citizenship, they want to do that. They want to charter one flight in March 2026, and then another 3 flights for each quarter of the year. And he wanted me to help promote it all. And I think it's a great idea. I think it is a fantastic idea. What are we going to do? Where are we at? Are we waiting on Trump or the Democrats to solve the problems that are steadily rising? Does everybody realize mental illness is going through the roof right now? These mass shootings, mental illness is always at the root of it. We have a crisis that we have been avoiding, and our leadership has done a very poor job of coming to terms with what needs to be done. So on that note, I want to thank you all for your participation. You are a wonderful, brilliant people. And I am so honored, so proud to be in your ear on a daily basis. On that note, I think I kind of worn it out for today, haven't I? I want to thank you all for tuning in to your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we have our own now. And we're very proud of who we are, what we do, and very proud of the people that we have endeared ourselves to. I am because we are Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black.com. Yeah, that's how we roll around here.